And welcome to the Hall Prison Universe. I'm King HP, also known as Father, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But we're going to specifically focus on the Illuminati, right? Are they real? Looks like we got them, okay? Maybe they'll be called something else. Maybe they won't be called the Illuminati. Who knows? But we're going to break that down and talk about that in this episode. But first, I want to talk about our free giveaway. Stormbreaker. Okay, we are almost at 2,000 subscribers. Please continue to share the video with your friends. Share it on your Facebook. Share it on your Twitter. Share it wherever social media platform you may have. Share the video. Okay, we're going to give the details on how to enter at the end of the video. But I want to reassure you that it's free. Now, if you enjoy the stuff on this channel, do us a favor. Click the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell and click it to all. This way, whenever we drop a video, you're included. You get the drop. We are in tune. All right. So now that that is out the way, if you haven't seen any trailers or you don't want to be included into any Doctor Strange talk, this is not the video for you. So I don't really know if we're giving a spoiler, but if you don't like that type of stuff, we're going to break down trailers and things. So leave now. All right. Awesome. Because I don't want to ruin your viewing experience. But if you stayed, let's dive into it. Okay. The Illuminati. All right. Who are the Illuminati? One, we can talk about the comic book version. We have Doctor Strange, right? Professor X, Black Bolt, Iron Man, Namor, Reed Richards, right? You have those six. I believe I just named six. Let me make sure I counted them off, right? With that being said, every person represents like a different aspect of the realms of Earth, right? Of different, like, Professor X is the mutant community. You have Namor, which is the king of Atlantis. Doctor Strange is the sorcerer supreme. Reed Richards is Fantastic Four, one of the world's most renowned scientists. Black Bolt, king of the Inhumans. Make sure I got everybody. And then Iron Man is the Avenger / government side of things. Remember, he does like deals with S.H.I.E.L.D. He's been director of so that being said, right now, we have to look at a lot of things. Why are they in this movie? Why now? If you go back to Iron Man 2, there's that real sneak little Easter egg that we found so long ago. It's been talked about, and it was like, oh, it's just nothing. Marvel has constantly done this, thrown Easter eggs early, and if they come to fruition later, they can pay it off. We see that in the same movies, even in the first Iron Man, when Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson's character, gives Iron Man the Avengers Initiative, and they're looking at the screens. And on the screens, there's a circle dot in Africa, and there's a circle dot in the water, right? In that water, I think they had it in the Atlantic Ocean. That would probably be representative of Namor, and Africa was Wakanda. So were they talking about Black Panther and Iron Man 1? No, of course not, right? But if they ever wanted to circle back, if they ever wanted to spin the block on that, it was there for them to use, right? So coincidentally, Iron Man, right? We know Patrick Stewart his voice is in the trailer, right? Now Marvel has led us down this road before. We know this because we're never gonna forget Infinity War. You showed us the Hulk running through Wakanda. Green Hulk never ran through Wakanda, but yet we broke that trailer down. There was gonna be there are certain things that we get, and we sometimes get so spun up on. And it's just not there, right? Dr. Banner in Wakanda operating on the Hulkbuster arm. That wasn't in the movie. Was Dr. Banner in Wakanda? Yes. But not doing the things that we thought, right? So with that out the way, we have to look at some of the things that I do believe are going to happen with people. And that's swaps, okay? Swaps being like the 6 people I named may not be in this version of the Illuminati. One, because the MCU is vastly different, right? We can't always say, well, that's not how the comic did it, right? And we just start attacking the Marvel film. We're not doing that, right? We know Ultron was invented by Hank Pym in the comics, In the MCU, Tony Stark did it, right? Tony Stark was like the answer for everything. Just Tony Stark will fix it, right? I don't think we're gonna see. And let me put this out there. We've seen it's not really slated. There's no time yet, but we know Marvel's doing a Fantastic Four movie, right? So we could get a Reed Richards variant, right? Because they can give us an idea, and this can almost be trial and error. Like, hey, let's put a Reed Richards in there, put in a suit. If the feedback of the suit is bad, we know to adjust the suit prior to the Fantastic Four movie. If the suit looks good and people are like, man, he looks good, we may keep that suit, that style of suit, and then run that for the Fantastic Four movie. So that's a trial and error thing, right? I do believe Namor could possibly be switched, and this is why. There's a lot of rumor that Namor will be in Black Panther 2, right? Wakanda Forever. There's not too, like, they've already been filming that. That production is live as we speak and towards the end of production. Like, they might have to do some reshoots on the strength of, whatever happened with Letitia Wright, or a couple things they've noticed with the ending of certain movies or TV shows. They just want to, put things in different perspective. But the filming, the majority of that is wrapped, man. M'Baku got a bigger contract. All praise the universe, thinking otherworldly, baby, all the time. So, it's possible that Namor, because his release, his debut, maybe later this year, you're not going to have time to, okay, we show you what Namor variant looks like. People don't like the costume. People don't like none of it. And yet here he is. Boom. Maybe we ain't got time for that. The first time you'll see him will probably be in Black Panther. So, Black Bolt has been in a TV series with the Inhumans. That was not very successful for Marvel, but it has come to Disney+. Also, the Netflix shows are getting off of Netflix. The Defenders, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil. And I believe the Punisher as well. But then there's this post, March 16th, they'll be coming to Disney+. Now, that doesn't make everything canon, but the way that this is all shaping out to be with the multiverses, it'll kind of be canonized as far as, like, this does exist in the Marvel universe, not in the same timeline that we follow, right? So it'll be like in this branch timeline, like Loki says, in these branch timelines, these things are happening all over. The Fantastic Four, the X-Men movies, these shows, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all that will branch off this main timeline. And I think that's a good way to pull it, because they can always pull a person. Agent Coulson appearing in the main timeline and dying, and then going off and doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a different timeline. Hence, not two Darkholds in one timeline. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has their own Darkhold. It doesn't look like the one they used in WandaVision. Right? So if that makes sense to you, follow me down this road. With that being said, I got some notes here. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at my notes. It's a lot. All right. So Reed Richards, I do believe we'll get him. Doctor Strange, don't think we'll get him. Now, in this trailer, we see there's a statue, and Doctor Strange is looking at his statue, right? It's like, I believe he was a sacrifice. That's Defenders. I don't know. Maybe in this universe, Doctor Strange had to wear the gauntlet and did the snap. Maybe. Right? Who knows? Because if you think about it, wouldn't Doctor Strange be strong enough to hold the gauntlet? He was harnessing or holding an Infinity Stone the entire time. And can't he just hit himself with a spell, hold the gauntlet, and then pull the snap off? Possibly. So to me, that makes sense. That's how I see the world. Now, who's the Sorcerer Supreme? In our universe right now, it's Wong. Due to a technicality, right? Like on this timeline, which is my arm, if you wonder why I keep doing this is our timeline. So on this timeline, it's Wong, right? And Wong by technicality. So I think in this timeline, it's Mordo. Now we see Mordo in the trailer. He's got braids. He done got his Allen Iverson on, right? And that would make sense that he being the Sorcerer Supreme, now he's on this panel. So you would have Reed Richards, you would have Mordo representing Strange, Black Bolt, Iron Man, and Professor X. Now, Iron Man, right? We've heard the rumors of Tom Cruise potentially being in his movie. I would love to see it. People, I don't want to see Tom Cruise. Listen. Go back and look at the reviews. Chris Hemsworth being cast as Thor and Tom Hiddleston being cast as Loki. They were bad. People were not hyped about it. They were not. Why are you gonna get these no-name actors? Look at them now. We love them for those roles, right? So Tom Cruise playing a variant of Tony Stark. I'm hoping to see a more zanier Tony Stark, right? We keep talking out. Well, it's keep being rumored out about superior Iron Man. Even if we got a superior Iron Man, it wouldn't be the superior Iron Man you know from the comics, right? We haven't gotten the Skrull invasion yet, even though we do have Secret Invasion coming, right, as a Disney Plus show. But it's not here. It won't be here by the time Multiverse of Madness happens, which could be insight into Doctor Strange. But we're going to save that. We're going to save that. But in that world, it may have already happened, right? Because after Civil War, and then they're broken apart, and then you have the Secret Invasion with the Skrulls and everything. Tony Stark, it's not that he goes bonkers, but a spell is cast, switching everyone's personalities. Tony Stark then shields himself, so when the swap is done back, he still has that alternate personality, that bad personality, if you will. So in this world, he could just be more like if Tony Stark didn't die in Endgame, right? Because let's say someone else sacrificed himself. In that world, maybe Tony Stark feels the guilt of letting someone else sacrifice themselves, and he wants to build a suit of armor around the world, which he's always talked about. And in this world, he's successful. And that may be superior Iron Man, the way the MCU may do it, right? Remember, the MCU always thinks outside the box. Prison Universe, we're always thinking otherworldly, right? We're always thinking otherworldly. So throwing those theories out there, that may be what creates a superior Iron Man mentality, right? Where he knows of aliens now, right? He's defeated them the first time with the Chitauri in his world. But yet in this world, he doesn't do the sacrifice. Remember, Captain America consistently you're not the guy to make the sacrifice play. Yeah, I just cut the wire. Maybe in that world, he cut the wire, right? He let someone else make the sacrifice, and then he did the blast with the repulsor or something. Who knows? Maybe he beheads Thanos, and that just drives him crazy, right? We'll see. But let's see. Let's keep it going, right? So superior Iron Man. Now, who else do I think is a swap? Captain Marvel. I believe that could be an easy swap to put in for your name more, because we know Captain Marvel exists, and we've seen where this kind of secret team meets. Think back to Endgame. Black Widow was running the Avengers. Remember, Steve Rogers was out and about going to his men's meeting with coping with, the loss of the blip. Black Widow was having meetings with Rocket, Captain Marvel, and War Machine, Cody. And even though Cody and Ms. Marvel looked like they had some friction, not friction, but which could have been cool because in the comics they kind of have, a relationship. So it would have been dope to hint at that, and then later on we see it pay off. But my thing is, Captain Marvel gives you that off-world intel, right? Which would be what that team was missing. Even when I said the Illuminati, it was all about Earth-based realm. But Earth continues to get attacked from off-world entities or off-world, I wouldn't say entities, but like groups, the Kree, the Chitauri, Outriders, or whatever else may be out there, Celestials. So having Captain Marvel gives you that, okay, is something coming to Earth? Is someone trying to do war with us? And now you have, the Inhumans are like that too with Black Bolt, but they're moon-based. Like, they're not out and about all throughout space like Captain Marvel is gathering stuff. So, gathering intel. So, with Black Bolt, and he's king of, that's another entity that can help fight. So, it would just make the most sense to me, MCU-wise. Bring in Black Bolt from the failed Inhuman show. That works. Iron Man, if you're going to do, I know Robert Downey Jr., that's one thing if we were to be gambling or something, I'm betting Robert Downey Jr. is not in this movie. So bring us in a variant. And why? And again, maybe James Spader is in the movie as this Ultron and the reason why I say that is because those bots, Now, we know Tony Stark was trying to do the Iron Legion. He did the Iron Legion. He just didn't do it to the effect where they were like govern the world. Age of Ultron comic book, when Ultron wins, the comic book starts off with like Peter Parker being held captive by a small little. Anyway, the Ultron bots like govern the world, right? The Ultron, Vision works for Ultron. And I could see that kind of being like this world to a degree. Tony Stark having his Iron Legion govern the world. Like, they're the cops, right? There's no cops really like how we see cops today. It's the Iron Legion out and about, handling things, making sure the world is safe from any big or external threats. Big, like, Earth-based threat or external threat, something coming to Earth, Iron Legion picks it right up. And that's what we see walking with Doctor Strange, is he's cuffed. So it could either be Tony Stark, and he was successful with the Ultron program, or there is no Tony Stark, and there's Ultron, who, like we saw in the What If series, where Thanos was a good guy working with T'Challa. In this world, Ultron realized there was a way to help humanity, and that's what we could see. And it's those bots who are and maybe in this world, it's Ultron combined with Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, or not Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, but Iron Man, and get whatever actor you want to play him. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, for all I care. It doesn't matter. As long as we get someone who says they're Iron Man, I'm with it. Now that we kind of got those things out the way, right, it makes sense that Captain Marvel, we see in the trailer, a Captain Marvel or Iron Man variant attacking Wanda. Now, this is where it gets kind of crazy, because we hear Patrick Stewart saying, we should tell him the truth. And what is that truth, right? The multiverse? Well, we know it's real. But what is that truth? Like, let's dig deeper. Wanda. Let's go back to WandaVision, right? Kevin Feige put out that those commercials we saw in WandaVision was always Doctor Strange trying to tap into Wanda with what was going on in Westview. We've seen the trailer. We've seen Wanda. If you hear about Westview or whatever, or she starts apologizing, and Doctor Strange is like, I'm not here for Westview. But when does that meeting take place? Go back and rewatch WandaVision. They've edited the last episodes, the last scene. Check it out. There's plenty of blogs on YouTube about it too, where now there's like this thing that slides down the mountain, almost like an astral form of Doctor Strange, and maybe that is that, and that's where this movie might pick up. That would be dope, because Spider-Man No Way Home happened, and the end credit scene of WandaVision would have to take place after Spider-Man No Way Home. We just didn't know that at that time. That would be dope, because then it was like, that's why they had to re-edit that to show you Doctor Strange coming. They re-edited the trees and everything, and now it's Doctor Strange getting there. Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse? Because in Spider-Man No Way Home, we saw Doctor Strange open this problem up. That's how they meet. That's what I'm going to go with. You know what I mean? That end credit scene in WandaVision, go check it out and see the end credit scene of the last episode of WandaVision was edited. The forest and the trees are different. And then in that scene, you got all those trees. Listen, man, I believe that's Strange, astral form, coming to see Wanda. Right? He ain't going to just walk up, pull up. You know, they like to show cars now. You remember WandaVision? She had like a Prius or something. I don't know, a Buick. Who knows? Wanda driving a Buick, right? But she done had a Hex and changed. She could have had a Lambo for, you know what I mean? But let's assume that to be true. In that same trailer where Doctor Strange says, I'm not here to talk about Westview. Look later in the trailer where Doctor Strange is in the red scene. Pause it. Go back. That's the same scene. He's in the same clothes. Now, I can tell you this. They were shot on different days. Because if you look at the goatee, it's slightly different. But the clothes are the exact same, right? So, it is what it is, right? Anyway, Doctor Strange, truth, what is it? Multiverse? No. That Wanda is after America Chavez, right? She's got to be, because we know America Chavez was in comics. She can open up the portals, hence that little star. You see the star on her jacket. You see, You see that star that opens up behind her. She's the link, right? And if Wanda's not after her, someone is after her using Wanda, or Wanda is also trying to protect America Chavez in a different way than Strange is, right? Like, it's kind of like Avengers and X-Men, right? The Avengers wanted to stop the Phoenix Force. The X-Men wanted it, but nobody really wanted harm done. They wanted two different things. And I feel like Strange is going to try to protect America Chavez. No, Wanda, you can't use America Chavez to travel the multiverse looking for your children. And Wanda's like, dude, why not? They're my kids. Explain that to me. Why do you get now we go back into the trailer. Why when you change things or do things, you're considered a hero? But I do it, I'm a bad guy. Wanda's after her kids, more than likely. Go back to the end credit scene of WandaVision. She heard Billy and Tom, mommy, man, what? Listen, man, it's going to be so crazy. Now, again, do I think Wanda will be the villain of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Yes. Do I think there's someone else behind that pulling strings? Yes. Because the MCU seems like they're setting up a couple big bads. We already know about Kang. Right? Now, who would they be setting up? Could it be Nightmare? Could it be Mephisto? Could it be Chthon? Right? Because we could all be seeing how Wanda got her chaos magic. That would be nice to delve down. We know Kang is coming in Quantumania. We also have season 2 of Loki. So I think in a certain aspect, Kang will kind of be behind this a little bit. But I think we're going to have to really wait and see about who they're really trying to set up. But, again, a couple more things, right, to look at. Look at that trailer again, right? This is what I think that truth is that Professor X is trying to explain to Doctor Strange, or what we should tell him. America Chavez being held captive, right? We see Christine Palmer, and we see these, I'm going to call them Ultron bots running past her, right? I truly believe that truth, right, that Doctor Strange, that Professor X is explaining, is that Wanda is the Nexus being and how that works, right? And the truth is, Wanda is way more powerful than you think, as far as going back to WandaVision, Ralph Boner. We'll find out maybe that really wasn't Ralph Boner. That might have been the actual Pietro from that universe, snatched and given a whole personality. Like, even though we remember Monica Rambeau pulling it, Ralph Boner, and she pulls the paperwork on him, it's almost like she pulled the doppelganger still, because they were in the hex when they looked at all that stuff. So it's possible that all the paperwork, Ralph Boner, was made by Wanda still, right? And that's my theory, because people were really disappointed. But if WandaVision ties directly to Doctor Strange, it would be nice to say that, no, she's done something, like she replaced a person. Like, Ralph Boner is now in this universe, and he's like some random dude. And she took our Pietro and swapped him with a Ralph Boner. And made him fit the part, because her brother died back in Age of Ultron. So, also that truth is this multiversal war that is going to be coming because of all these universes piling into each other because of what they're doing. And I think it's all, and I think that universe is going to be very hip to that. Now, could that Captain Marvel person be a form of Kang? That would be dope too. But I just don't think Kang's going to be in this movie like that, fighting alongside. No, I doubt it. No, we're not doing that. But I do believe that when Wanda gets to that facility, they're going to have to batten down the hatches, right? And that's where you see the Ultron bots running past Christine Palmer, America Chavez in that casing like a zoo animal, and Doctor Strange is in cuffs because he's the one who violated. You open this world in No Way Home. You also lied. There was more than one way to beat Thanos. You chose the way where Stark was removed, and that wasn't cool. And I think that's going to be part of all that truth. that Professor, like, you violated, like, you picked okay, you said beating Thanos, there's 14,600,000 and something possibilities, right? You picked the one, you said there was only one way, which we'll find out in this movie that was false. That was false. There was more than one way to beat Thanos. You know how I know that? And you should know it too. We saw What If. In What If, and that was a conversation, me and Kiera had right here in a different video. That video is part 3 of the MCU's most powerful villains. We started touching on that, where Ultron split Thanos. That's an Ultron defeat. The only difference is Ultron goes around in all these multiverses too, fighting, but Ultron is ultimately defeated. But in that universe that Ultron starts in, he kills the Avengers. Remember, Tony Stark was talking to him, and he was like, "You don't have to do this." And Ultron was like breaking it down when he beats the Avengers, and then he comes across an Infinity Stone, and then it just spirals from there because Thanos comes to Earth to get the stone. Ultron's like, incredible, or it's like interesting, or whatever he said, and then splits my man perfectly balanced. So why didn't you pick that reality? You guys could have went there, traveled back in time, lost to Ultron, let Ultron beat Thanos. Black Widow would have survived. Like, it's, and isn't that ironic? Another person who dies in Endgame is Black Widow, is alive in that universe, and then Uatu moves her to a different universe. My point to all that is, Doctor Strange had more than one way to win. He chose one. All that's going to come back to bite him. Several truths. You can't play with the multiverse. Your Wanda is able to extract people, and she's done it before, and it creates these things. Also in your world, there's mutants. There's got to be. We're going to do a different mutant video for this, for the whole but I just want to focus on the Illuminati, right? So now, when that truth gets given to Doctor Strange, and probably going to be more to the story than what I just said, Wanda's probably going to show up. And now we're going to get the Illuminati versus Wanda. Patrick Stewart, Wanda, it's okay. Well, it'll be cool because Wanda uses mind manipulation. Remember Age of Ultron, right? She got Tony Stark. She couldn't get Hawkeye. Hawkeye was like, I ain't playing this game no more. Boom. And put like one of those suction arrows on her forehead or something. She got Thor. She got Banner, right? So, or the Hulk, really. But she would have got Banner too. Wouldn't have mattered. So we'll find out who is the greatest telepath. And it's going to be Wanda when it comes to her versus Professor X. Now, the dope part about that is Professor X probably is the better, but he doesn't have as many abilities. So she'll be able to override what Professor X does. So technically, the better telepath will be Professor X. But he won't be able to overpower Wanda. You know what I mean? Reed Richards. I believe we won't really see him get a chance to fight. We'll see him do a couple of, you know what I mean? Like do some Stretch Armstrong type of, but I believe they probably won't do too much with him if we even see him engage in that fight. I believe we'll see the Ultron bots. I believe we'll see maybe Black Bolt because we've seen their powers used. But Reed Richards, I believe they'll probably say that for a Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? Like, why show all this stuff now? But then again, Marvel. Now, Captain Marvel. Here's the perfect point. Captain Marvel will do battle with Wanda, right? We kind of either it's her or Iron Man. We're not really sure. My bet, Captain Marvel. And the reason why is it's been teased. Go back to WandaVision. Agent Jimmy Woo. They were talking about battling Thanos, and Monica was saying one thing about Wanda almost killing Thanos, and Woo was like, I don't know, man. Captain Marvel held it down. Like, it almost begs, and they're both got their powers essentially from an Infinity Stone, different stones. Mind Stone was used to release or activate Wanda. And Brie Larson's character of Captain Marvel was the Tesseract was used, right? Which, again, pay attention to Thor: Love and Thunder, because Jane Foster also had direct interaction with the Reality Stone, the Ether. So maybe she'll be able to harness the powers of Thor based on something that Thor does. And it would just make sense because she's got people who are in direct contact with these stones like that have abilities. My point is, going back to these two, it was teased. We probably will finally get to see it. And it might come to a standstill. Remember in What If they gave us Captain Marvel versus Thor. And I think they do that just for some fanfare. You know, early on we saw Iron Man versus Thor in the first Avengers film, right? So every so often we also saw Iron Man versus Hulk, right? We've also seen Thor versus the Hulk a little bit. So they always kind of do these hero versus hero, you know, let's see. You know, we got to see Captain America take on Spider-Man. A little bit. You know what I mean? Like, we got to see these things, Captain America versus Black Panther. There's always those hero for hero. It's like the Royal Rumble. Like, we're not going to give you a full match. We're just going to give you 2 minutes until the next guy runs in and interferes. But it just puts it out there, right? So, who knows? But I think at the end of it, Christine Palmer will probably release America Chavez, her Doctor Strange, and because he loves Christine Palmer, they'll escape. Christine Palmer on his world, Doctor Strange's our original world, will probably end up getting killed. Why? Because What If said there is an absolute point, and absolute points in that world of that with Strange Supreme, his hands were good, but Christine always died. There was nothing he could do about that. So maybe if it's an absolute point in time that we have to see, because we've seen her at the wedding with the pitch in the video. She's at a wedding, appears to be her wedding. Remember, Doctor Strange was snapped. 5 years is a long time. And then she gets killed. Doctor Strange sets off with, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be crazy. So when he meets another Christine Palmer, she may help him and understand that, you know, in her world, Doctor Strange died, which would be why she'd be willing to help a Strange. And that's why in the trailer, when you see like that door opening of that watertight door, like if you're in the Navy, it's got a scuttle handle, but it's a what? Anyway, they're undogging the door, but there's not individually dog doors. Anyway. You see those three: America Chavez, Christine Palmer, and Doctor Strange, right? So he would lose her recently, making him want to work with her. On her world, she lost him, making her want to work with him. And then there's America Chavez like, yo, between the two of y'all, help me. Woo! It's going to be a lot. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is going to be a doozy, okay? But keep your eyes posted. We'll probably have some more Illuminati videos as we get more trailer spots, and we're breaking these trailer spots down, and we're doing all that behind the scenes, and we'll come to you and bring it to you. But we're definitely going to have to do a mutant video. Definitely. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this giveaway. Stormbreaker at 2,000 subscribers. Please, please, please share the video on all your social media outlets. Tell your friends, because the faster we get to 2,000, and we're almost there, we will do the random giveaway. So how can you be a part of that? First, you must subscribe. Be a subscriber. If you're a subscriber, that's part of the battle. You're a third of the way there. Second thing, like the videos. And third thing, and comment. That's a bundle deal, right? So be a subscriber, like, and comment on each video. So, for instance, this video, if you just like the video and you subscribe, you're still not fully entered. That's correct. You're still not fully entered. So go to all the videos, watch some past videos, see how things have changed from when we started. You know, welcome to the Hall Pre's universe, all the way up to now. Lots of changes, and we still have more to come. So anyway, again, thank you. We have the Multiverse of Madness coming. Awesome, 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 awesome. That's May 6th, so it's right around the corner. Until next time, thank you for watching. Stay safe.